Hello, everybody. This is your Welcome in the Wolf Tent. I'm your werewolf, and this is going to be our final stream for this month, capping off the holidays until we pick it back up until next year, rather, next month in January. So today, Anime Spotlight. Of course, I'm with the compadres Fish Chozo.
The green mask is now on my face yet, or now on screen. But
Okay.
I'm Fish Shows. I'm here, and I was thoroughly bored by this show. Quite bored by the show,
For the
unfortunately.
first 10 episodes. Wow.
I only watched first 10 episodes. Not oh wow.
It's okay. It's all right. We also had the Maverick Hunter Saint Brian Gil Martin.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you've all been having a good day. Good day today. So, yes, we are going to be talking about Bubblegum Crisis, the Tokyo 2049 or 2040 version, and yeah, yeah, and they go, yeah.
I think I should got maybe I should have had you motherfuckers rehearse y'all lines before we started.
Yeah, yeah, I'm flubbing. So, a little
You
background
just
on me.
confused me with a Marvel 2099.
Yeah.
Right?
Anyway, so for me, I first encountered the original Bubblegum Crisis during the 2020 lockdown, as which when that was in full swing, and yeah, that got me hooked on the series. So when I heard we were going to be checking out the 2040 version, yeah, I'm on board for it. So with that, hold on, I'm gonna hand it off to our next guest.
We have the Schooner Tuna.
Coming at you live from a secret government facility buried deep underground, but has excellent Wi-Fi. This is Schooner Tuna. I hope you all are having a very safe and wonderful holiday season. And I just want to say that Bubblegum Crisis, Tokyo 2040, and the original one that it was based off of, I love it. This is like a staple of cyberpunk, and I just adore it.
I got my start with it like just the same way as Brian Gil Martin got it. I saw the the first three OVAs, and then when I happened upon this one on Anime on Demand, I was like, I'm watching it. I'm gonna watch it, and boy, oh boy. So the one Zoro link that I gave you, I don't know for the life of me why they omit the opening for every episode.
I know that opening was just so good. I mean,
Yeah,
that's a '90s opening.
I
yeah,
didn't watch. I didn't watch through Zora Link, so it didn't matter.
right. But other
Oh,
than
I
that,
saw a
like,
theme song.
but yeah, I have to link you guys the opening just for you guys to see it, just to memorize or just remember that opening exists. I'm like, wait a minute, why is it just going straight to the? I mean, it's being basically Netflix it all over again,
Yeah.
where it skips the opening
Yeah.
just outright. But other than that, like that, yeah, that opening is electrifying, dude. Like just straight up electrifying. But where are our mans? Let's talk about this. We're gonna give the synopsis real quick. Story takes place in Tokyo, where much of the manual labor is done by robots called boomers.
Okay,
Yeah,
boomer.
ha ha ha. Which are run by a mega corporation, Genome.
Yep. Okay. Run by the mega corporation known as Genome.
Thank you. Lena Yamazaki, a new office worker, observes a boomer that has gone rogue, causing destruction and attacking people. Although the AD police, yes, is also taking place. I think it's supposed to be sharing the same universe as AD police. I'm not sure though. I could be wrong.
It is
Correct
one of the
me.
yes, 80 yes, 80 police. See, here's the thing about the original 1980s Bubblegum Crisis. There were stuff. It started off as a series of OVAs and got their own little spin-offs, which were very cool.
Yep. Although the AD police are called to stop the rogue boomers, a renegade group called the Night Sabers, dressed in cybernetic armor heart suits, appear to save the day. Yamazaki joins the group, which consists of Pris, a rock star, Celia, a boutique store owner, and the group's leader, and Nene, a computer whiz who works with the AD police as a dispatch operator. Over the course of the series, the Night Sabers go after the rogue boomers, which frustrates the AD police officers Leon Nicole and his partner Daly Wong, or Dali Wong.
Mm-hmm.
That that went dirty.
Yeah.
Genoma's not
There's a reason for this, which we will get into as we continue.
right. Genoma's not happy with the development. Its leader Quincy Rosenkreutz and advisor Brian J. Mason seek to unlock more boomer technology. Meanwhile, the girls must deal with Celia's younger brother Maki, or Mackie, if you're American. Leon pursues Pris with romantic attentions, but does not know of her connection to the Night Sabers. Mason uncovers and reactivates Galatea, a humanoid based on Celia's DNA. Spoilers. Who is able to control all boomers. Genome cuts 80s police funding, resulting in a strike. However, Galatea's influence caused boomers everywhere to go rogue, trapping the Night Sabers and 80 police folks inside their own building. The Night Sabers follow and defeat Galatea and satellite orbiting Earth. Spoilers.
Well, that's just a rundown of the whole series.
For a 90s anime.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta, 90s always go to space. Let's go to space. The final battle is in space.
Cue Mega Man theme song, Mega Man X specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So,
but yeah,
go ahead.
But yeah, like I said, if you guys really want a series that stars girl power in the right way and tickles all the fancies and checks all the boxes that we as normal people go to see these type of stuff, this is the anime for you.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely an anime for you. And -1, we are also fans of Claymore. We all know that. So, if you love Claymore, you'll definitely love Tokyo 2040.
Well, I think what would make Tokyo 2040, what makes Tokyo 2040 so good and Claymore is that they're not pushing the message. Instead, what they're doing is actually having faith in their characters and creating some really interesting looks and perceptions of everything.
Femininity being one of them, masculinity being another. They do. If you're watching
homosexuality as well.
Homosexuality as well. Because Leon's partner, spoiler alert, he's gay.
Okay. Yeah.
And,
that's kind of obvious.
Yeah, but exactly. Just come out with he's gay, but
homophobic bastard. Not kidding.
They don't make him. They don't make him a stereotype gay. They show him as he's compassionate to his partner. He's a competent police officer, and he's one of the best characters.
It's funny. I never knew that he was gay.
Yeah, that's the thing, because they don't shove it down your throat that he's gay. It's just sort of hinted at throughout the story, and for most part, he just looks like a regular guy. He's not running around in any sort of flamboyant colors or making any weird gestures or anything of that sort.
Yeah, he's not the overt gay. He's what representation needs now. He's subtle. He's he's reserved, and what makes him a great character is that he's the perfect foil to Leon, who is the masculine man, who's like the daredevil, who's going out there doing all these things, and he's often poking fun at Leon.
It's the dynamic of sensitive guy and manly man.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll also add that you don't really need subtlety to write a character like this. Just it really the Japanese this is why I always really sing my praises of the Japanese a lot, because they're actually using my philosophy of how you write representation. Write them as they happen to be, not as they ought to be.
Exactly. Don't make their whole identity that what they are. Okay, just happen to make them a person who just so happens to be gay.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
There's even a moment where Lena questions Nene. Does Pris swings that way? Wait, what? No, don't be ridiculous. Maybe.
And that's another, and that's another thing that this series tackles really well too, because not only are we dealing with class division, but we're dealing with femininity, masculinity, technology running amok, and a bunch of other things. But crap, I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, I'll get back to you.
Oh, the best part about it is chicks in power armor. Let's not forget that, and dudes with big fucking cannons.
Oh yeah, BFGs, baby.
You got
BFGs.
like
For
Leon's
me,
trademark is a fucking hand cannon, dude.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha. That was the last one. It was also politics, bureaucracy, corporate
Hang on, Fizz.
corruption, corporate
I'll get you
corruption.
in
I
there.
mean, this series tackled a lot of things, and it was and like what Wolf says. It's just like, yeah, but it's a show with badass women in armor. How I mean, that should be it. But no, this show went deeper.
Let's call it for what it was, a show with balls.
Yeah,
Yes.
and boobs.
Or Power Rangers knockoff. That's Tokusatsu, so
Nah, it's not Tokusatsu.
Not really, because there's not a whole lot in the way of martial
Well,
arts in it.
For one, they don't pop in and just start doing a pose all of a sudden. They're all business.
Mm-hmm. Well,
okay, and still Power Ranger style.
Not really, but we can debate that another time.
But back to what you were saying though about Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040. The Genome Company is really cool because they're creating organic life forms, which they call boomers, which is so funny because trigger the memes right there.
Right.
Mhm.
So they're techno-organic, technically.
Techno-organic beings that can, very similar to that of Ghost in the Shell, be misused by people or anybody, but for that matter, to commit crime. So the 80 police are there to take down any rogue boomer, similar to that of Blade Runner. The problem is that some boomers are too dangerous, and due to the AD police constantly, and because the problem with the AD police is that they're kind of just in name only to keep the peace. They're so tied up with politics, red tape, and budget cuts. They are completely inadequate for the
They're
job.
underfunded, to say the least.
Yeah.
They're underfunded, and really, when you look at the politics inside the AD police, you realize that only Leon and his partner, and even Nene, are kind of the ones who are the only ones who are really interested in protecting people. Everybody else is kind of protecting their asses.
Yep.
Kind of like your wide-eyed cop that just wants to do the right thing. They're in it for the right reasons, but are hunkered down by people who basically just see you as a tool, a means to an end at times, and worse, you're there to push their power along. You essentially just become an unwilling bully at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That and I like to I mentioned that the AD police are underfunded. And you see where they blow their budget on half the time, especially when you get into the train simulations, which we're going to explain in detail how the lightsabers work or operate. One thing for sure, there was a moment where they had this big giant power armor in effect, which almost did the job. But the boomer had a defense mechanism, and they always throw those curveballs, the boomers themselves, when they go rogue like that. And we didn't even go into detail how a boomer goes rogue yet, which we'll get into a bit. The forms that they take.
That's another thing that's terrifying about the boomers is that these are not just like Brian said, they're techno-organic, which means while they're going rogue, they're evolving. So they're turning. So conventional weapons, as the series progresses, conventional weapons no longer work on them.
Yeah.
The only way to stop them is to destroy the core. That's the only vulnerable spot they've got.
And that's the one thing that they are protecting, like, right. Yeah, they are, like, they got, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Let's get into the characters real quick. Let's start with
let's start with Lena. Lena, the most
Lena.
The most basically boring character number one, because I don't really know anything about this character ever.
Don't undersell it, man.
Here's what we know about Lena. Lena is a farm girl. She traveled to Mega Tokyo to actually, one of the funny
Become a
things,
lightsaber.
she wanted to be a lightsaber and get away from her overbearing family. In fact, the first episode shows her as an office lady with this. She is constantly harassed by her bosses and continues to stay positive. Firstly, I give her so much props for the shit she goes through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world.
Yeah, but what I like about her is that she always stays positive. She's friendly. She's outgoing, and she does want to help people. Okay, she is not sitting here crying about, I'm owed something or I
Right.
Right.
solidarity. No, she goes there and wants to be a lightsaber, and they say, well, why don't you prove your mantle? And she does prove her mantle.
Yeah, basically when she chases Pris down on foot, even though
She
Pris has got
outright chases the chick on a fucking motorcycle. That was
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah, that
And
takes a lot of
lands,
brass to do. You know what I'm saying?
and lands and gets a broken heel, and I think breaks her foot doing that.
No, break the high heel on the high heel.
Or I think that was
She
more of a
cracked her high heel.
she cracked her high heel, but I always felt that was a symbolic gesture. But we'll get to that.
She gets a scratch though.
Yeah, she gets a scratch and she does start limping, but it shows how far she's willing to go to see her dream accomplished. And what I love about Pris is while she's brought into the lightsabers, Pris still gives her crap, saying that you don't fit in here.
It's like you're an outsider. Just remember, if you become unpleasant to our eyes, you'll face severe consequences. Know what I mean?
And that's the thing. But the thing is that she was brought in because of her confrontational tendencies, her sense of justice, and her will not to give up. It's why Celia brought her in. Because she's like, we need somebody like you, a heart, to remind us why we do what we do. It's like
let's not forget she almost hacked into their database and then they shut that down.
Yep.
Right.
Because she was determined to find, and that's the thing. The series starts off with her, and she's kind of our POV character, but as the series progresses, we shift a little bit away from her and kind of embrace all of them.
Oh, one trait of her that let's not forget. She's also sympathetic towards the boomers early in the story. She like she will call out the injustices done to boomers too. She's very unique in that regard. That even though the lightsabers are all about business, you know what I'm saying?
I thought boomers was all evil and going by how everybody else talks about them.
Yeah. Well, humans treat the boomers basically as slaves.
But that's because they're robots. No, they're basically.
They do bring up that argument, which I do like what Fizz is saying. They make the case, again, a very overused plot device. But what I like about, overused plot device, feel sympathy for the robots, how evil humanity is and all that stuff. But we do get a counter argument, too, from a lot of the other people. It's like, they don't have rights. They're machines. We built them. Okay?
It goes even deeper than that later in the series once Galatea steps into the act.
I didn't get to that point. What I don't get is why did the guy make the boomers so that they go crazy? Like, why didn't he fix that problem a long time ago?
No,
corporate America, dude.
Well, it's
easy explanation. Corpo.
Well, corporate Japan at least.
Well, it's commerce, as they say in Blade Runner. Commerce, it's money. We wanted to make money off of a disposable workforce. Here they go, the boomers. And
why he's not working on a better version? Wow, he have to tell anybody about it. He can just work on a better version and subtly replace them. So replace the models.
Fizz, you know the answer already. You're still asking the same question. He does not care about the citizens. He does care about his precious boomers, as he like to call them. How much he loves them and all that stuff, but he doesn't care about improving them. In fact, he already got. In fact, when you really think about it, he has the best boomer created under his wing, which later on that's Galatea.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah,
like
but
I
you
said,
also,
rule it out as corpo.
mm-hmm.
But
And
we're
he
getting ahead of
Creed.
ourselves. Let's get to the next character.
Okay. Who do you guys want to do next after? Yeah, so there was
You
Lena.
want to do it in order then?
Yeah.
The order of how they get their armor, or the order of how she gets to meet them.
Yeah. All right.
So let's start with maybe. Well, yeah, since we're talking about Pris, let's bring up Pris.
Yeah.
All right. Pris is the most marketable character in this show. She's on all the covers, all of this. And
She's basically the poster
She's
girl
tomboy
for this
waifu.
series.
she's the tomboy waifu. She's the strongest member of the Night Sabers. She specializes in, she's basically the rough and aggressive one out of all of them. She's the fighter.
All
And
black communities.
Mm-hmm.
she's the vocalist of a band, and she lives in the slum of Tokyo in a trailer truck, and she's a loner. She's very distrustful of anybody and is rarely seen by her fellow Night Sabers. Let's see what else. As the series progresses, though, her views do change as she encounters various dangerous situations with her other teammates. And she becomes more friendly with them as well. And I think that's kind of cool how they show her go through a positive arc.
Her aloofness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what's also
there is a hint that there's a hint of something I want to bring up when we bring up the side characters real quick. But yeah, continue talking, Schooner. You got this on the roll.
Yeah, what I find interesting about her character is that, unlike all the other characters who have a motive for joining the Night Sabers, we never know Pris's motive.
Not at first.
Not at first. It's like one of her most closely guarded secrets. Oh, and she hates the AD police more than anything else in the world, which we find out why, which I love and adore, because it's like, that's a believable motive. For somebody like Pris, that is believable.
Yep.
It's better than fuck the police.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but there's a reason she's saying F the police, and we'll get into that later on. It's kind of a spoiler for now.
Yeah, so what's funny is that as the series goes, Leon is trying to begin a romantic relationship with her, and she's just, spiting him like that. It's funny. Leads to some hilarious bits, but like we said, the reason why she's the most marketable character is because she is the ass kicker of the group. She kicks like damn. And her armor is.
So let me ask you guys this before we move on to our next before we move on to the next character. Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh God. Oh. All right, get back to me on that one. We'll discuss that. I am going to do the complete and total cop out.
Dang it, Wolf! Why you always throw that you keep throwing those damn curveballs at us? What the hell's wrong with you? Are you a sadist?
Yeah.
I guess I am. But you're the Wolf Commander. Yes, I know.
But this is also Pris is also the poster child of the 90s tomboy girl at the time. Today, Pris would have side of her head completely shaved
And be gay.
And be gay. That's exactly. But in the past, the tomboy was just she has manly qualities, but she is not ashamed of the fact that she's a woman.
Right.
She's not afraid that she was born a woman. In fact, the bar that she sings at is called Hot Legs.
Yep. Kind of like a Rod Stewart song, actually.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
That's how I remember that.
The band, yeah, but I also like the fact that because I listened to the original Japanese version.
By the way, Fizz, there's a new title, right? There's a new inspirational title there for any project that you come up with.
Ooh,
Hot
okay,
legs.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Take a note of that, dude. Make a note.
What I like about this though is that they actually got a Japanese K-pop star to sing Pris's music, and she sings beautifully.
hmm
Hmm.
Anything else you guys want to say about Pris?
Yeah, I would say fuck.
Then who would you
Uh,
marry?
I'd still marry Prince, actually.
We can't go into that. We need to introduce all of our female characters.
Maybe we should do that at the end of the stream.
Right.
Because the next
All
one,
right.
who's the next one?
Nene,
Nene. Oh yes, Nene
the
is
baby.
like
Nene's cute as a button.
she is the little sister of the group. She's perky, naive, and she works for the AD police. She's a genius. And I love how she just routinely hacks the military network like it was no problem at all. This is, again, the 90s when hacking was just so easy.
Hmm.
Whereas today they have to go through in the movies like how complicated the systems and the firewalls were. Whereas in the 90s it was like, boom, hit 3 keys, and there you go. Here's the Pentagon's defense system.
Right. Or like in the core with the guy from the new guy, where he just does some little thing with a bubblegum wrapper and whatever, and he says you got free internet forever on a fucking cell phone.
Oh, let me. Oh, yeah. Okay, so what's interesting about her character though is that she gets recruited for the Night Sabers after she hacked Celia's computer to learn more about them.
Mhm.
Yep.
And what I also like is that each of them on the team actually serves a primary function when they're out on the battlefield. So if Pris is muscle and Lena is supposed to be like the heart and soul, this is Nene's a tactician. She's the censor. She does the communications, and she's the analyst.
Hmm.
I guess we don't have to cover their battle specs then.
No. Well, we were just talking about that. Well,
you flew off the handle there.
Rather,
I can go into more detail about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
You ready to move on to nothing else other than Nene's little cute nickname that she has for Leon?
Yeah. Leon Chan.
Sunshine.
If you're watching sub,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're watching dub, Leon Pooh.
His little sister relationship with Leon, and Leon is so put off by her.
What's really funny about it is that the 80 police officially have some sort of rivalry with the Night Sabers, and Nene is kind of playing both sides of the coin there.
Mm-hmm.
The irony of that is delicious.
I also like that that there was a moment where he had to bribe her to behave by taking her food away. She's very
She's a junk food junkie.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for putting the safe version of it. I was gonna say she's very orally efficient.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Ooh. Yeah.
Well, that's another thing that I love about '90s anime and TV shows. All of these characters who like have like these great bods eat crap, and I'm like, yeah, right. Like they
like Sailor Moon.
Yeah, like Sailor Moon. With all the crap that they eat, they still look like that. God, I love fiction.
In the case of Nene, obviously she's in the AD police, so there's gonna be some gym rings and of course she's always night sabering, so she's getting her exercise somewhere.
Yep.
Sailor Moon on the hand, no excuse,
No way.
no explanation whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have a character like that in my comics, but she's a superhero, so she is constantly exerting herself. So
Yeah. Let's get to Celia now, our final protagonist and the leader of the Night Sabers.
And the only interesting female character in the entire show.
To you.
She's the leader of the Night Sabers, and what I love about her is that she's an enigmatic billionaire, and rather than they make her like, how they would make her like, the female boss who dresses like the masculine, Celia embraces her femininity.
Oh yeah, one thing I want to bring that up. As I read as I read the wiki part of the synopsis. She's a boutique owner. She actually jumbles dual personalities in her first introduction of the series.
Mhm.
So she's got this kind of personality. She's basically a rarity from Friendship is Magic. But then when she's when she goes out on lightsaber duty, that's where the facade erodes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Kind of like Batman.
Yeah,
Mhm.
she's basically the Batman of their group, like just outright
Yeah.
Batman, just Bruce Wayne in it
It's
in the
like
first in her first introduction.
it's like
Yeah.
I don't know nothing. I swear to God, swear to me.
She's also xenophobic.
Yes,
She
they
hates the
do.
boomers with a passion.
She hates the boomers with a passion, and her father had created them basically.
Yeah, that's basically the reasoning for her hatred of him. The dealing with her father and what which we're going to get into a little later. Um, Due to her father's intervention when it came down to the boomers, that's what caused her to hate them so much.
Mhm.
It's
It's a
it's
trait
little
that she had
daughter
over.
lashing out on dear old daddy.
Well, it was also a trait that, which we later on learned that Celia's mother had.
Hmm.
It got even worse when she first saw Galatea, which we realized was based off of her. So it
Yeah,
was
built in her
sort of,
likeness.
yeah, Celia saw that as like her father was replacing her with his.
Hmm. The obsession just overrode familial.
Yeah, and not only that, I always thought that it was kind of interesting. Her duality with Galatea was that Galatea is Celia's dark side if she had embraced. She's the shadow.
Her dad.
A shadow
Yeah.
archetype.
She's the shadow archetype. I love that bit.
She's also the one that it's really just this. This is her story
Mm-hmm.
mostly.
Yeah,
Like
and go ahead, Wolf.
everything that's taking place within Tokyo 2040, it's really just a big grudge between her and her father. The lightsaber was formed because of her. We later find out that there was actually former members before Pris and the others back then.
Mhm.
She was originally hesitant to recruit anymore. She was about ready to take on this mission on herself until Pris came to her. I think she was the first that came to her.
Yeah.
And then Nene, and of course, finally we got Lena over time.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And that's an interesting thing. I like the bond that both Chris and Celia have.
yeah. She even questions Pris one moment where you know, it's like, what she asked Pris when Pris asked her to make another heart suit for a new recruit.
She basically, in not so many words, are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? Like,
Are you sure about that?
well, she said that this responsibility, if Chris is coming to recommend it, then Celia is saying that she's your problem because this is your responsibility. If you're recommending her, this is your responsibility. Even though Chris says yes, I understand. And
She was
they
all
don't
business there too. She was like, I'm just here to collect my pay.
exactly.
Forget I even said that.
Yeah, forget I even said anything. And that's what I like about Celia too. She's hesitant to work on it, but if Chris recommends it, then obviously this person is what we're looking for.
Mm-hmm. But that's pretty much it.
But
Yeah.
I just want to say her boutique that she runs, I think it's just the name again. It's called the Silky Doll.
Seems appropriate enough.
What the hell is with these names?
Well, they're meant to
Dude,
be
I
subjective.
asked that question for a lot of anime with weird names,
Yeah.
like locations, people. Freaking Expel from Paradise. There's I think her name is Angelica Balsax.
And
my,
ball sack.
there is my immature mind.
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Let me get the name right. Let me get the name right.
Oh God, I am not ashamed of to have an image.
Y'all watch. Hey man, I recommend that to you guys. By the way, that shit is fucking insane for a 3D anime.
Spelled from
What's
Paradise.
it called?
Expelled from Paradise. Yeah. Okay. Angela Balsex.
Ball sex.
It, it's no, sorry, Balzac. B
Mhm.
A
Oh,
L
ball
Z
sack.
A C.
Ball. Okay, ball, like just like ball sack, ball sack, ball sack.
Yeah. Excuse me. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on. I think I'm gonna play something.
Okay, nobody else saying anything.
Nope.
Uh,
All right. No, I think we need to go on to. Let's move on to some other characters. Do we want to go and do the bad guys now?
No, Leon, support point character.
Okay, we'll go to
Look
supporting
in the
characters.
private chat.
Oh, private chat. All right.
okay.
Let's look in the private.
Leon
Let's go
and
on
Daily.
Leon.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was my bad. Yeah,
Keep in
so
mind, both
Leon.
Leon and his partner. I forgot. I don't know. I forgot his partner name, but Leon and his partner are more interesting characters than both. But they both Lena and Nene. I actually kind of wish the show was about them too. But
There is a show. It's called the AD Police. I recommend that.
no,
But Leon's partner is Daily Wong, and Leon is basically when we see him, it's like what Brian said earlier. He's the manly man cop. He's frustrated, but he's dedicated. He rushes in without thinking. He's worked his way up from the normal police department, and he sees himself as a protector. And he dislikes the Night Sabers. Like he just wants to. He's like got a rivalry with them.
mm,
But he's a big brother. He's a big brother figure for Nene, and of course, when he runs into Pris, he wants to pursue romantic interest with her, even though she constantly belittles and never. He always takes the opportunity to take the Mickey out on him.
yeah, because as a manly man, of course he wants a tomboy. Apparently.
But what I like about the series is that he is he's unaware that Nene and Pris are Night Sabers, but when he finds out who they are, he agrees to keep the secret and even actually helps them on occasion.
And then we got Dali Wong, who is this smug, effeminate guy.
Yes, he's and he often. What I like about him is that he is so self-aware of the '80s role in this entire thing. The role of the AD police is purely political, and so he kind of likes to shake the foundation. He kind of likes messing with people.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good.
Exactly. Exactly. I keep my own watch 10 episodes, so I can't say all about them.
He often questions the contradictory nature of the AD police relationship with the Night Sabers. He's actually the one. He's one of the few people who actually says, these guys are kind of doing what we're doing. Maybe we should offer them a job, or stuff like that. And he is supportive, and he helps Leon through whatever problems he has and all that stuff. But I think what I find odd about Daily Wong is that towards the end of the series, he just disappears without an explanation.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not surprised. I mean,
it's because, okay, first off, when Galatea evolves and all the boomers around the world start going rogue, there's a moment in the series where they have to evacuate Tokyo. So most of the characters that we see evacuated, and we're supposed to assume he evacuated out, but the Night Sabers and Leon stay behind. And I'm like, wow. It's kind of a shame that he left because he offered. I guess he left because it's going to show the more darker direction the series was going.
Yep, pretty much.
But why keep Nene? Why keep Nene then?
Why keep Nene? Well, because Nene is one of the original of the Night Sabers, and yeah, she's the one element that they got to keep.
Yeah. Look, because I actually thought Dolly Wong was entertaining, but Nene on the other hand, that don't really.
Stereotype.
No, it's not just that fact that the character isn't really handled well, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay, so after Leon and Daly, do you guys want to talk about Nigel?
Yeah, the
Go
mechanic,
ahead.
right?
Yep, Nigel. He's the mechanic, and what's kind of interesting is that he worked on the Boomer project with Celia's father and the bad guy of the series, and then he helped later Celia design the hard suit.
And he gets a fucking from her every time he visits her.
Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Jesus.
I don't know. See, the thing that I find interesting is that we'll get to that later. He's a mechanic and he helps maintain the hard suits. And but yes, just to acknowledge what you're saying, Wolf. Yes, he is romantically involved with Celia, but he has a very quiet and sullen nature about himself.
He's
Celia
very aloof about everything. He just kind of does his job without really remarking too much on the situation at hand.
The Alfred of their group.
He basically, I assume he sees himself as Celia's vibrator or something. Like he just doesn't be used and go back to work.
Well, and that's the thing that I find interesting is that Celia, it's clear that Celia has feelings for him, but she actually is unsure about his feelings throughout the series. And she's like, she kind of does question that. Am I just this little, am I just is this a fling we're doing? And in fact, I love, this leads to one of my favorite moments of the series. She says, well, maybe he's got because, you know, he has a closer relationship with Chris than any of the other girls. So Celia actually dresses up like Chris, and I think that's so hilarious. Just trying to get his attention.
Okay. One thing I did like was Nigel and his mentorship of Maki, which could have gone somewhere. I mean, I don't want to step through.
Yeah, what I do like about the series, it's kind of cool because when Maki shows up in the show, he kind of becomes, you know, Nigel's protege and one of the few people that Nigel considers a friend, and it's funny.
He's one of the few people that Nigel like really opens up to, as most of the time he's pretty much a quiet, sullen sort of fellow.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of married to his job, as it were.
Yeah. And what I think is kind of interesting is as the series progresses, both Chris and Celia have kind of these infatuations with him. But as Chris goes and explores her relationship with Leon, she kind of moves away from him. But Celia is like going, "I'm not moving away. I want to know what your feelings are." And what I love about he still, even at the end of the series, kind of gives he kind of gives an evasive answer, but it's enough to show that his feelings for Celia are reciprocated.
By the way, just want to say one thing here right now.
Okay.
If I was rewriting this show, I would remove Lena and just kind of mix Pris and Nene together. If you know what I'm kind of composite them together. To the extent, it's basically mostly Nene, but she does most action scenes at the same time.
Yeah.
I would have Nene as the I would have Nene as operator. Mostly have Pris, Lena, and Celia being the muscle, whereas Nene is the analyzer, locating where the core is.
Mm-hmm. She's the brain, in other words.
And Maki being the he is the I'm sorry. Maki will be the
support.
In a way, yeah. I guess or rather, Nene would be the medic. Well, here's the thing. The only way Nene will work is if you fix her personality.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what's slowing her down is her personality, and to give her more support roles, which is she confuses the enemy or she's she carries extra battery packs for the hard suits.
Oh yeah,
That
I
works.
forgot about that. Those things. Okay, first off, those batteries are always going. Talk about batteries that only work for the sake of plot, because either they don't
Yep.
work half the time or they work all the time. They are so inconsistent with those batteries.
Most of the time it don't work. Most of the time the batteries seem like it don't work. It's
Yeah,
kind of
Well,
like
Like in
later
most
kind of
time
like
boss fight,
they
hers
so
runs
they start.
out.
Yeah, they start running out over. They don't really have a they don't have a fixed time period to how long they run out. It's not like in
yeah.
Tekken Man Blade or Techno Man, if for all you Americans,
Mhm.
where he has to keep his battles short for under a 5 minute time limit before he goes berserk. In the
Mhm.
case of
Right.
or in the case of say what's another example? Evangelion, after if the dummy plug is if the dummy
Yeah.
plug is either cut or damaged, they got a 5 minute window before the Ava shuts down.
Mhm.
Uh, 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 yeah. The batteries in those suits are pretty much the opposite of arc reactors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly.
They run on Duracell.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Trusted everywhere except in these hard suits.
Should switch to Energizer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we want to go to the next character, Maki?
Yeah, let's talk about Maki. I'm opposite of you guys. If you guys ever liked Maki, I didn't really care that much about Maki that much.
I did because I like his relationship with Celia.
Yeah.
Little
I mean,
daughter.
I might have thought there might be some incest undertones. I don't
what?
know. No,
Nani?
I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
well,
But
well, the thing that I find interesting about Maki is that he shows up and he calls himself Celia's younger brother, which of course Celia's butler. Yes, she has a butler. Shows
We
up
don't
and he
forget
says,
about him.
"I know we don't want to forget about him because he's great." But
He is great,
He's
he
basically the
especially what he does later on in the penultimate arc.
he's basically the Alfred to Celia's Bruce Wayne.
I
yeah.
know, I know. Celia was just Batman to me. I mean, that's what I thought.
So, but what I think is funny is that Maki comes in and says, "I'm Celia's brother." The butler goes and he says, "Celia, I got a man at the door here. He's claiming that he's your brother." Celia takes one look and says, "Yeah, that's my brother," and she's so happy to see him.
Of course, that's her
Which-
brother.
That's her brother, because which you later find out the twist in the series is that Maki is actually a doppelganger for Celia, a male version. He's a male
Mhm.
doppelganger. He's a quote unquote prototype.
I
He's
kind of
part
assume he's a
human and
boomer.
part boomer.
That's where he worked for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually kind of assume he's a boomer. I can tell, kind of tell because how the hell the brother didn't know. So actually, I automatically assume he was a boomer.
Well, and this
But
also helps with the character of Celia, because what's interesting is that she hates boomers with a passion, but she adores Maki. But what's interesting is that
That's
he's
the callous to her relenting on her hatred towards boomers in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think the reason why Celia takes to him is because he was deemed too human and considered a failure.
Right. I could have sworn that she resented him when she found out that like she distanced herself from him for a while. If I recall,
And
correct me if I'm wrong, sooner.
she does distant for a while, and though and then when we get to the final arc, she whatever distance she was putting between them, she immediately let go because she realized how she needed everybody, and because she was scared she was turning more and more like Galatea with the path that she was going.
by the way, one interesting thing I know in this show was that one of the bad guys' lieutenants is the guy who's has a boomer as his girlfriend.
Mason.
Mason, yeah, Mason.
That's Galatea.
I didn't know. I didn't. But
You'll know. Well, if you decide to continue this series, you'll
of course
see
I'm
that
not.
later.
But of
Well,
course I'm not.
There's another reason too why I'm a big fan of Maki. It's no secret that it was because of the original Bubblegum Crisis. Maki became the inspiration for one of my favorite male protagonists, Tenchi Masaki. The whole series is basically let's put Maki in a comedy series, and that's how Tenchi came to be.
No, I never saw Tenshinmuyuki. I heard of it, but never saw it.
Yeah,
I plan to watch Berserk before that.
Yeah, but it was the creators of the original Bubblegum Crisis wanted to take Bubblegum Crisis in a more. Yeah, I said that behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't laugh. Yeah.
The creators of the original Bubblegum Crisis wanted to take it into a more comedic direction, but the studio liked the darker direction that it was going in. So the creators decided to just remake the whole series from scratch, but they took templates of
comedic. No, that would never work.
There was even an interesting plot point which was later dropped. They were actually going to kill off Chris.
Yeah. I would have been okay with it.
Yeah, they were going to kill her off, and they were going to bring in a new character and kind of have that for an ongoing series.
Not okay with that.
But Press had become a very likable character. The studio got cold feet and decided.
Because of course they do.
Yep. Yeah. But that's the thing about Maki's character is that he's the missing link between Boomer and human.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He's part human and part Boomer.
Mm-hmm.
Poor thing too, because he goes rogue, in the most dire of situations.
Well, and that's the thing that's terrifying is that when Galatea's powers are evolving and all of the Boomers are around the world are subtly going rogue, at the most dire of moments, like you said, well, Galatea hacks Maki. And what's terrifying is that Maki says, like almost mocking Cilia, he says, while this thing is partly Boomer, I'm still connected to him. And that kills Cilia.
Mm-hmm.
And that
it was creepy when he had all the wires coming out of him too.
I know, like when his whole arm had merged with the keyboard. That's just so freaky.
No, what killed me was those dead eyes he had.
Dead eyes.
See, for me, it was the laughter. It was Galatea's laughter coming
from all of those things. It's like dead eyes, see no future right there, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But what I did that was kind of cool, Maki gets his subtle little FU to Galatea. Because after tearing him apart, severing his connection with Galatea, and he's in a coma, he just suddenly wakes up and decides he's going to help the Night Sabers fight Galatea, but at the cost of his own life.
So he's the barrier, basically.
One thing to note, Nede does have sort of a crush on him too.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's kind of obvious.
And he's got a crush on her as well. I think it's.
I mean, they're both very similar.
Yes, I think I laughed so hard though because they had the most awkward first meeting.
Yep.
When he walks right into their dressing room.
He walks right into.
And somebody took that scene and said, "I'm gonna make a whole show out of that."
Yep, basically that's what it was. That's what gave inspiration for Tenshinmuyuki right there.
Yeah.
Let's not forget how he decided to upgrade the hard suits on how they put them on now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yes. Okay. First off, yes, the hard at the climax of the series, the Night Sabers hard suits get destroyed.
Well, before we get to that, let's get into context real quick. Before they even got upgraded, they used as you saw the promotional picture earlier, they put in these jumpsuits, and then they get into their armor, and which fits like a glove if it's tailored to the It's funny how there's fashion involved into design these suits, so it's tailored to a specific size to certain people, like when we seen when Lena first tried on her hard suit.
Mm-hmm.
They wear these jumpsuits first, but then when Maki comes in and it starts upgrading it, go ahead, Schooner, take it away.
Okay. Starts upgrading the suits, and he basically says it's now nanomachines. Okay, so you got to
Nanomachines, son.
I know. Nanomachines, this was before Infinity War Iron Man. So first it starts off with they had regular Iron Man suits where they would just put on that heavy equipment, go out there and fight. But Maki says, let's use some nanomachines. So they got to put on the nanomachines and they concentrate, and the nanomachines basically turn into armor for them, and they can fight more effectively, and they don't even need batteries. Well, the problem is that these nanomachines have to be very body specific, so it can only work for the night sabers, and they have to be naked.
Yeah, yeah, they get to have their bellies exposed and everything, and then even through the armor.
Yep, and they have to maintain their concentration.
Yeah, or else they start melting.
Like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Well, the thing is, when I first,
I love when they tell Nene this, because Nene sees that, oh my gosh, you guys got the armor back, so we're going to be back as night sabers, we're going to kick ass. And they say, it's nanomachines. Okay, awesome. They're catered very specifically to body signature. Okay, very great. So we're going to have to go with the bare minimum of clothing. I understand that. So how far? We're talking bare. What?
Them buck naked.
Yeah.
So you pervert!
Yeah, exactly. That leads to one of the most hilarious, the traditional anime chase sequence, like how Maki's a little pervert and how he hits his balls. No, that was still one of the funniest. That's why I love this show. This show was never afraid to just have fun with itself.
Yep. If it took itself too seriously, it would be pretty much unwatchable.
Yep, exactly. But let me see what else. Do we want to go over now to the bad guys?
What do you say, Wolf? Do we go? Oh wait, he's muted.
Okay, we're gonna go to the bad guys.
All right,
let's
do
go
it.
To Ryan J. Mason. He's the corporate shark who was working on the Boomer project with Celia's father and Nigel himself. He is he's a xenophobe, but he's the other way around. He believes the human race should die and that boomers need to become the dominant species of the planet. And
he's basically a boomerang bigot because he hates his own species and thinks boomers are superior.
Well, how's that work? How's that work when the boomers don't have their own free will? That's like that. Why is he not working on that?
They're evolving to gain free will.
You in these questions when you already know the damn answers.
This is right though. This is what leads to one of the coolest twists in the series. Is that the boomers that are going rogue? They think it's just a malfunction in software. Until you find out, no, they're deliberately causing these boomers to wake up.
Good thing it's not that plot where.
Yes, they're killing because here's the thing. It's when a machine. This is what I love about this. Decided to take a more realistic approach at sentience. Okay, can you imagine having? First off, a boomer itself is a machine. Like you said, a bio. What did you say, Brian?
Biomechanical.
Yeah, it's a biomechanical machine, okay? So it was designed to take in its entire surroundings, and all of a sudden you're gaining sentience. So you're talking about a century, like hardship, like basically you're experiencing all of these emotions at once. It's going to its natural solution, insanity.
Let me explain the rogueness of, or the nature sometimes. It's more... It started off with them just outright malfunction, kind of like the way how Ash went crazy in Alien.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all remember the cyborg, the android Ash?
Yeah. The android Ash. Still love that movie.
That scene was fucking creepy as hell.
That terrified me more than the alien.
Good on Ian Holmes, or at least whoever the Bido for Ian Holmes to do. Was that Ian Holmes?
Yeah, it was Ian Holmes.
No. What I don't get is how come every boomer goes insane in the exact same way? Like it's
a formulaic plot.
Yeah, I know. No, it doesn't make any sense because I would assume they will malfunction in different ways. Like for example,
Like for example, when they just become sentient, like why they all just start killing people? Why does each and every single one do the same thing? Why does they? I assume they all do different things.
Fizz,
Like
Fizz. These are
mm,
worker robots. Think of them as equipment malfunctioning. They're not yes, they can talk, they can move just like us, but they're not that sentient. The road boomers that they face against earlier in the show before they got to Galatea are boomers that are functioning the way how a machine functions. Like say for instance, your garden variety of factory prosthesis that the ones that pick up the bottle and all that stuff. Imagine if that was just throwing balls at people and stuff like that. Think of it like that way, kind of like the way how in Wally.
A difference, no, the difference in Wally is that the Wallies is that they all went sentient in different ways. Like for example, what's his name? The one who's cleaning up stuff.
Mo.
Mo. Mo.
Mo, yeah, Mo. He just disobeyed orders and came sentient because the game's on free will because he knew even though orders was shut down, he knew Wily was still out there causing more dirtiness.
Yeah.
So
Foreign contaminant.
Well, the thing that I find interesting about Mo going rogue in that instance is that he went rogue because he was following what he was programmed to do.
no, he is caught. It was caught between two programming.
Yeah, and which one was the greater programming? Follow the standard procedure of the ship or do his base function, which is clean? And his base function won out in the end.
Exactly. Like for example, in this show, one of the maid, one of the waitress robots malfunctions and starts killing people, even though it doesn't make any sense. Because
Let me
in my
correct you on that.
mind,
They don't kill people earlier in the show.
no,
Yeah.
we're trying to.
Yeah.
I don't understand why she
After
does that.
after she mutated.
Yeah, well, I don't understand why she
Yeah,
does
right
that
after
at
she
all.
mutated,
Because
she started attacking Prince.
no, I don't
Yeah,
understand that at all.
that's what we're
Because
talking about. The evolution. They mostly become an animal after that point.
no, well, how that's less they become less intelligent. So
I
because
don't think less
I was
intelligent.
so
I don't think less intelligent. I think they were more
because
resorting to a baser instinct, which
well,
is
why
fight like animal like
why?
quality.
First stage, first stage
Yeah, no,
of
no.
evolution from the
The
primitive
first,
from the primitive side all the way up to the intelligent ladder.
yeah.
Wait. What? Because I will assume that it'll be different. I assume when she becomes sentient, she'll be trying to sexually humiliate every single man that she comes across. That one made more sense than just.
Well, you know what? If we were to do a remake of Bubblegum Crisis, I would actually agree with Fizz Choza. What if we do show the Boomers evolving differently? Some are a
Well,
little
you're
more.
you're expecting the boomers to get revenge.
Yeah,
No,
they're the bad. At the end of the day, they are the bad guys of the series. The only one who's supposed to have any real dimension in the show is Galatea.
Hmm.
no. And here's another one. Here's another extremely wasted opportunity I felt. The one episode with this guy named Bill who's working on a sea
Yep. I was
boomer.
about to say that. That was a very. That's go ahead, Fizz. I like this episode.
Look, and his wife was cheating on him with some other
Yep.
guy because he's away at sea, and
Yep.
he transfer his consciousness into the boomer.
Well,
Now,
that's indirectly he did.
it
didn't
indirectly, but
realize.
not on purpose, but accidentally. But here's
Yeah.
the thing: that's such a wasted opportunity.
Well,
That could be a whole storyline
yeah.
because he
Well,
still got the human mind in the boomer body.
yeah. Well, what I find, well, it's not his entire mind; it's pieces of his mind, and the Boomer is pursuing the guy's wife because he's
Fizz,
scared.
are you asking for complexity from a action anime?
Okay.
Yes, a live action anime has complexity.
I
Not
like
every one of them has to. That's the thing.
No,
Sometimes you gotta have your
well, I
popcorn.
do, but
That
I
pure
do.
and simple works best.
That could be the whole storyline though. Bill, that was a very interesting character. They could have gone so many different directions, but no, they just killed him easily. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense. Wait, these are supposed to be deep sea boomers who can take
Well,
high pressure.
Look, man, when we get to Blue Sea, we can discuss that.
ooh, Deep Blue Sea, a world of endless
Not
blue.
not Deep Blue Sea.
I
The
know.
anime is called Blue Seed.
Yep.
There
Yeah, I know.
you'll have what you're looking for, Fizz. Don't
But
worry.
like that character. Wait. There's so much. I was interested. Like, there's so much you could do with that, but you just kill him. Like, what?
It's
Wait,
a
like, what
Saturday
there?
morning format, Fizz.
I do agree with Fizz though, is that they
Yeah,
did
yeah.
kind of stick with a very safe formula for a while before the series actually decides to conclude itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that one episode that seemed almost like a Batman anime series episode. Like that.
Especially,
Not
especially
entirely
the
a bad thing, you know.
Mm-mm.
especially the ending when he said, "Okay, I'm gonna." It's a little Nigel. Wow, I said that wrong. Okay, hang on.
Bill.
Leon's partner,
Oh,
Wong,
Deli.
Dolly
Daily.
Wong.
Dolly
Daily.
Wong. Okay, Dolly Wong, while he's delivering the message to the wife, I'm like, dear God, he just is piling on, and it's just damn. First, she finds out her husband's dead. Then she finds out that the creature attacking her had the consciousness of her husband in it because it was driven by its love for her. And then he finds, and then she. I mean, I'm just that ending where Wong is just laying it like crap piling on her was just like, okay, dude, seriously?
Bedside manner, dude.
I know, right?
You know
Because
what, dudes?
yeah,
Dig this. I got this shit all the way on the screen. I'm surprised freaking YouTube hasn't even cut this damn stream off.
shoot,
You did that.
Considering their personal vendetta towards anime lately.
Oh,
I know.
yeah.
We all know what happened to RGE.
yeah.
Oh,
I'm gonna
yeah.
say this right now. They're gonna try to monetize anime now, and I'm like, you're too late. SJWs, you're too late.
So far, they're fucking with totally not marked right now.
We
Totally.
we have an entire back catalog of thousands of animes like this and anime still photos like this. So if they're gonna try to rein it in now, I'm just saying you're too late. You lost.
Yep, that'd be a tall order if it ever happens at all.
お前はもう死んどる。
Yeah,
But
Nani?
Nani?
gee. But back to
Go
what
ahead.
you were saying. What we were saying though about Mason is that he hates humanity. He's on the opposite end of Cilia. He he is an angry and bitter person because of a traumatized past, and it's well, his fate basically he gets his comeuppance really bad.
Oh, yeah.
That's yeah, right towards the end. Let's see. Who else? Oh,
He got pegged.
yeah, basically.
Big time.
Also, Mason's a freak. Okay, because in the
Oh,
series, the way he's making out.
Homosexual.
Yeah,
Not,
Robophilia.
yeah.
I know. I know. It's really weird. It's almost like that. It's almost like what Jessica Jones trying to do with the Purple Man with the whole
Look,
the
man.
whole
Look,
manga
man.
troll.
Let me kill it for girls. We sung that song so many times. Come on, man.
I know.
Yeah,
Well, the whole
Not to
manga
mention,
troll
he's
sex
a
thing.
creep. He's supposed to be kind of like that because he hates humans and thinks boomers are the next stage of evolution or some
Like
BS
the whole
like
sex,
that.
no, I talk about the sex thing. The whole sex thing with the robot, and it's just like, and it's just
It
doing
ain't
whatever
right.
he tells it to do. Like it was not like he remember that scene we told her to laugh,
Yep.
Yeah.
and she didn't stop laughing.
That
Like
ain't
on
mind
call.
control. That's just following a direct order.
Yeah,
Well,
because the robot.
But what I like about that scene when he's telling the robot to laugh, he is looking at it and he is just disgusted by humanity because he says, I look at you and I see the limitations of ourselves. You know, when I tell you to laugh, you will continue to laugh no matter what.
Mhm.
Okay.
I think there's another show I did that. I saw I did that. Did something similar, sexual and a complete subordinate.
Mhm.
Like, what's that? Well, I forgot what it's called.
Subservience.
Yeah.
Subservient. Well, I forgot what it was called. I rarely see this. Does anybody else see?
I think something
Well, I
similar would
forgot.
be what's another?
I saw it in Armitage the Third.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah, because that was weird. Okay, I think I saw it somewhere else. I forgot. I can't come to the name, but I think I can't remember seeing this. I forgot what was.
Really weird when he becomes when he adopts Galatea and then he starts like putting the moves on her. I'm like, that's sick. That guy's sick.
Yeah.
Then when
Well, what do you expect from a guy from one of the main villains? You know.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't pull no punches with him. And I think what's funny is that afterward, Galatea decides, he says, "I just wish I could be a boomer," and he's just like, and Galatea says, "Okay," and just turns him into a boomer.
He's like, "Be careful what you wish for. You may just get it."
Yep.
No, wait. Yeah, I know. No. Because I see very Doctor. I think Doctor Cycle did something similar in DC Comics. Of course, it's Doctor Cycle.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's I remember seeing that from. Yeah, Doctor Cycle did something similar. Yeah, it's very disgusting.
So sorry.
It's very disgusting. Yeah.
Let me tell you my interpretation of his of that whole scene.
Yeah.
I think he was also discussing with himself that the fact that the power that humanity exudes over boomers, he probably tries to see himself as a liberator as well. That's why he Ted killed the old guy, because even though the guy loves his boomer so much, he still treats them like toys. So that's why he gravitated towards Ted so much. It's like, the guy, I forgot his fucking name already, but everybody's a tool to him. Even his boomers, no matter how much he claims to love them. Or at least he sees the guy as, you got that corporal mindset where, he's only got tunnel vision. Whereas I'm seeing the bigger picture.
But the bad guy in this particular anime was not very smart. I could tell from the jump. Like his entire plan is not going to win. It's all destined to fail, basically.
Because he's not the real villain of the story.
He's not. The real villain doesn't show up until late into the thing.
And isn't even the primary antagonist until like the final 5 episodes.
Which is kind of a good thing and a bad thing going for this show.
Which I will say that I actually do like, is that it's clear they're setting the villain up, and it does deliver for a great finale.
Which, let's get into Galatea real quick.
Yes. So Galatea is basically the boomer project started by Celia's father. She becomes the main antagonist of the series. It's revealed that she was grown from an implant inserted into Celia's mind as a child against her mother's wishes. But either way, long story short, she goes rogue and kills most of the research team and started the earthquake, which set the world to where it is right now. And they sealed her away and hopefully sealed her away to prevent her from contaminating other boomers. And until they get her out of stasis in which episode was it? At some point during the series. But what I did find really cool about her character is that she starts off as a little girl, and then we see her slowly aging up to when she becomes the primary threat of the series. She has this very
she's a better written Alexia Ashford from freaking Code Veronica, dudes.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
much.
Well, and that was the thing. When she was a kid, she kind of talked about all of it as it's like some kind of a game. And also, can I just say that when she initially shows up, Cilia has been building this Galatea up as the greatest threat the world has ever seen. I have to destroy this. She doesn't tell the other lightsabers what's inside the containment unit. She says, just find the containment unit, get away from it, don't go near it. And then Cilia, after they find the containment unit and they all are supposed to go home, all of them say, no, Cilia's hiding something. We need to figure it out. Which, by the way, Cilia is one of the few times Cilia actually dons her hard suit, which is a badass hard suit.
Yeah, it's got those blade arms. That is cool.
Yeah, from the most part, earlier in the anime, she doesn't really wear a hard suit yet. I mean, it's built like we already know she gets into the hard suit at some point because it's written all over in the opening of the anime. She's the
one hard suit we see the least.
And there's a reason behind. There's one or two reasons behind that. One being that she might have PTSD from the previous outing with the original lightsabers, because she did tell a story about the original lightsabers and you see them die horribly.
Yeah, I remember that scene. That was just oof.
Which at first I thought, oh, cool. So this is a sequel from the original. This is a sequel from the original Bubblegum Crisis.
That would have been a great idea if we really think about it.
Yeah, but apparently no. The producers say this is a retelling. So
it really is.
That could have carried so much more weight if it was a legit sequel.
It's like you see these badass women in the OVA, and only to find out that they later on died. But then again, you at the age of Cilia then.
Well, and this is also something that I want to say, like you brought up earlier, Wolf 10 Media. That's something we would never see in today's media. They would never have the balls to kill off an all-female cast.
No, they would not, because women are not allowed to come to harm in this day and age because reasons.
We must protect them, both reality and fictionally.
Let's just say don't come in and when they want one of my comics in. No.
Don't read my stories. Kids don't even survive my stories either.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, and that's the thing too, is that is what will attract audiences. Like saying, "Whoa, somebody actually had the balls to do something like that."
Yeah,
I'm gonna put this as a tagline whenever time you open up one of my books. I'm not fucking around.
Yep. At the very least, someone would have to become critically injured.
Well, or you can just go down the Atlantis, the Lost Empire route.
This is starting to sound like a bad comic book plot. It gets worse.
Love that clip, dude. You were speaking my language right there with that, man.
Yep, exactly. But yeah, I mean, this year, just open up the story and already let your audience know right off the bat this is not going to be this is not going to be what you expect it to be, or like we're going to pull no punches emotionally.
In other words, it will not be for the faint of heart.
It will not be for the faint of heart. If you have a faint heart, I recommend putting this book down. Get yourself some tea, sit down with your boomer music.
Get your pumpkin pie.
Get your pumpkin spice, and let the real people read this story.
Fucking with nigga.
Yeah. And demonetized.
And that's right. Oh yeah, right there.
I ain't scared, you motherfuckers.
And that right there was the last broadcast of Wolf 10.
Right.
Yep.
They don't put that part in the songs. They don't tell how they pissed their pants.
Oh yeah. They probably soiled themselves seeing that, like
stupid SJWs. Had they lingered on with the normals, they'd be miserable. Their children will be ingrates, and they'll be waking 3 hours in the mornings to piss in the bucket. Wine.
Yeah, I just saw a tweet. From somebody on Twitter, and this is basically all SJWs, and they show a clip from Meet the Robinsons by Disney. Was the scene which Goober went back in time and made his child self. They told him that never let it go. like something bad happened as Tim as a kid. Never let it go. Keep that childhood. Keep that childhood grudge all the way to adulthood. You will be capable of very horrid.
Oh yeah, dude's monologue or his speech to himself.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, that inner monologue to himself, and then the hero says, why don't you just take personal responsibility for what you did? I mean, it wasn't me. All of the were yours. And the villain says, take responsibility for my actions or blame you. Yeah, I'm going to blame you.
Yep, that's how it always goes with these type of people.
But that's what I thought was interesting about Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040 is that it starts off as this kind of light-hearted Blade. I mean, it got dark, but it was clearly building up as like this villain of the week superhero type deal, while slice of life with the characters. And then we reach the apex, and I'm like, whoa, this took a massive dark turn.
Oh yeah, when their own hard suits turned on them, basically.
When their own hard suits turned on them. But one of my favorite episodes was when the AD police gets invaded by boomers, and suddenly
that's like full zombie apocalypse right there, man.
I know, and I love that bit because that was one of my favorite episodes too, because the AD police were trapped inside their precinct, so you had this like confined some low-res horror right there.
Yeah, and then you had Chris coming in at some point with the moto slave just tearing ass through everybody. That was great.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I would love to have a motorcycle like that. Imagine just being in traffic with that sumbitch.
Was it Motor Slave or Auto Slave?
Moto Slave.
Moto Slave. Moto Slave. I love that. Moto Slave.
Yeah, like slave because it's a motorcycle, you know?
Yeah. But where was I going with this?
My eyebrows raised when she jumped up and turned into that big fuck all robot. That was insane.
Yeah. This
was like
super adapter armor right
I'm
there.
gonna marry this bitch.
All right. So yep. So are we set that Chris is the one you would marry, Wolf?
We'll get to that pretty soon.
I was gonna say, eat your heart out, super adapter armor from Mega Man 7.
Right.
I say, eat your heart out, Hulkbuster. This thing came with the bust and everything.
Oh yeah.
Bustin' make me feel good.
Dun, 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 dun,
Go, speed, go. With the power of the Mach 5, you got the power speed racer, let it show. Go, speed, go.
Yep.
Yeah, I know there was a 90 speed racer.
Yeah, I do. I love the 90 speed racer, but I got
with that fucking razor shaped Mach 5.
Yeah.
That was the bulkiest Mach 5 I've ever seen in history.
Oh, yeah.
Food was definitely compensating for something.
For reals, but that damn opening was what kept me through that damn show.
Yep.
Go, speed, go. Go, speed, go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Armor of the lightsabers, how unique they are, and how
we didn't even get into that. I was hoping we were going to get into at least around the 50 mark, but you know what? Now that you bring it up, go ahead, Schooner, take it away.
Right. All right, cool. So what I loved about their armor is that each of them is unique, but they do not hide the fact that they are feminine.
Nope.
They don't. It's like the show is more or less embracing the feminine.
The damn suits got high heels for crying out loud.
Basically, something akin to ballet boots or something.
Me personally, I didn't care either way. Like I don't care either way. Like shows like I have a problem with same as Orion's armor, for example. I don't care.
Ask what you got a problem with it. Tell us what you like about them, motherfucker. Damn.
What I like about the suit, the suit don't really look outstanding to me. Just whatever. Like it look more like kind of like accelerate almost from Ben 10, but
they're basically designed to look like a motorcycle. Basically just a biker's power armor. In a way, you got their helmets that essentially are motorcycle helmets. The feet, or rather, the shoes are essentially the the front and back end of a motorcycle versus the middle, which is gray. Y'all get my drift?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think because
mhm.
especially in the first episode when we see Press, the way she lands right in front, this thing is accentuating all the feminine features, but also is showing how super durable and badass they are. Because she
Also,
comes
all
out
the sounds their feet make when they run or move.
that little,
Break it.
Yeah, I get Mega Man vibes whenever I hear that. Like,
Well, that's old anime for you. They thought of everything. Spare no expense.
It did not.
Well, what I liked also is that how, with the exception of the batteries, the hard suits are brought down on a realistic level. You can tell that there's a lot of moving parts going into this, and the complexities, which also shows that if a hard suit is damaged, that's going to be like a week in a shop or 2 weeks. That's why they say don't let them get damaged.
Yep.
And
Unless it's coming out of your pay.
of course, yeah. Of course. What's her name? Like I said, the only interesting female character.
Cilia.
Celia got the money. Celia got the money, of course, to fix it up. Of course, she's rich.
Well, you like her because she's Batman to you.
Well,
Yep.
well, what I like about Celia's character is that this is how I would picture a leader. She is a leader.
Yep. She is
This is
Earth
like-
in the scale of that Mythic 4 that Professor Geek talked about.
May I
Yeah.
also, you know what? Let me bring this up real quick. This is the one anime where rarely do I ever identify with the leader character in a big group like this. You guys know that I'm always I always latch on to the leaders, no matter how boring or uninteresting they are.
Right.
Or at least if they are interesting or very complex, like they're like I'm always gravitating to a leader because of leadership.
Mhm.
It's leadership to me is what I relate to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm always looking for prime examples of what makes a leader, or what's befitting of a leader.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's something that we all tend to really gravitate to, or at least come to respect.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
even if somebody is not a leader in their life, they follow somebody they know can lead them to an even better life, not through self-destruction or any of that mess, but to get to my point, it wasn't really Celia that I related to, but I knew that she was very complex. I mean, however, that doesn't change the fact that I don't respect her as a leader. I do. I really, really do like her as a leader. Doesn't mean she's my favorite character. We all know who that is.
Yeah.
We obviously know who that is.
Yeah, but what I like about
However,
Mm-hmm.
hang on, Schooner. Hang on, everybody. However, Pris do lead the charge in their campaigns.
yeah. But what I think is interesting, whenever Celia does get involved in the battle, Press immediately takes her spot as like the number 2 in the group.
Yeah.
She's the Riker.
Yeah.
Press is basically the tip of the spear for the offense, and Celia is the overall like commander, as it were.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think like I said, I thought first was kind of boring.
Well,
But I'm the only one here. I'm the only one here thinks that. But
what I think about Celia,
You're the one that's sick. I'm kidding. I'm messing with you.
I mean, no. The problem with how the characters was done in particular, because I loved Arcane though. Now I watched the entire series.
oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll talk about that.
that's a separate. That is a separate stream because
We will not get into that. Hang on to that, guys.
That is a similar protagonist, but the thing is, she actually has actual goals and motivations and other things that characters are supposed to have.
Yeah,
Prince
but
is a personality, and
Yeah.
what's that? What?
Pris is again the staple of the '90s Tom girl that was really popular around the
aloof, stoic, very at times condescending.
Rebellious.
I know, I get that, but
Snarky.
I know, but what else is she? Does she just have personal motivation or goals or none of that? She just kind of.
No, she's a soldier. She's a soldier.
She's a
That's all.
soldier. She's a soldier, full metal bitch. That's basically what she is. Full metal bitch.
Okay, that's not interesting.
Remember, Fizz, the story is about Celia. That's why you gravitate towards her, because you recognize that the story is really about Celia, not any of the other lightsabers. They
Good.
are the means to the end.
Yeah. But again, even in the final episode, Celia's presence is felt, despite the fact that she leaves. Because what I think is interesting, unlike most protagonists who would chase their demons to the bitter end, Celia instead decides to cut her losses. She says, you know what? I'm done fighting. I'm not going to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what I found interesting about her character, especially after she lost Maki. She lost Maki, the price was too big.
Spoilers, yeah.
Yeah. After she loses Maki, she's like, she doesn't want to fight anymore.
The cost. What was the cost?
What was the cost? What was it all for? And she can't leave. And this means that, all right, now this is the moment where, because I got this subtle, the trainees and the mentor sort of thing. It's now the trainees have become the mentor and now must see the job done. This was the fight we were preparing.
You know what? We're an hour and a half into this, and I guess we should start wrapping it up now.
Mm-hmm.
But like that ending, man, I'm still conflicted about that ending.
Yeah,
it feels like it could be a to be continued sort of deal.
No, it's not. That is the complete conclusion. But my question is, how the hell them ladies gonna get back to Tokyo?
Well, that's what I was meaning. You know, it's like there's no real. Everything's kind of left to the ether.
Okay, since Fizz ain't gonna watch this damn show any further, let me tell what happens, because again, to me, it kind of ends sort of pseudily anticlimactic in a way, because it all boils down to Pris taking on Galatea at this point.
Okay, so here's what happened. I'm going to get very quick about this. Galatea evolves to the point where she becomes a giant boomer and floats off into space, and she
becomes Dorothy from fucking Galarians.
Yeah, basically. And
she becomes fucking Rey through instrumentality.
Pretty much, yeah. She floats to the space station, and she's basically planning on bombarding the planet Earth, creating the whole new race of rogue boomers. The lightsabers have to go into space to stop her. And go ahead now. You go ahead.
Yeah, they go into space. They literally become the rest of the crew literally becomes angels and fall down to the earth, basically.
Mm-hmm.
No, actually, wait, no, I take that back. They become planes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's because when they were
nanotech.
Nanotech too.
Yeah. And basically restructure their suits into something that can help them get back. So here's what happens. Luna and Nene get pushed from the satellite, and they're heading back to Earth. And the only way they can get back down is they basically, using the nanomachines, transform into something that can get them through the Earth's atmosphere. And
so a plane.
Yeah. So basically a plane. Yeah. So they make it. They land on a desert. They land on a desert island. No.
Island. So it's a tropical island.
They land on a tropical, not a desert island. They land in a tropical island. So
it's all up to Pris to take on Galatea. She was getting her ass kicked for a while until she basically just fight her off with sheer force of will, showing her the way, and freaking Galatea basically just allow her to defeat her.
Well, that's another thing that I found interesting about the show, is that in the beginning we show Pris being like this super badass, and they beat the shit out of her. I mean, holy God! And they beat her up, and then you're like wondering, can Pris actually solve and do this? And what I find interesting is that Pris can't win this battle the way she always fought other boomers. Because remember, when she got Autoslay back on her, she goes flying and tries to fight Galatea the same way she would fight any boomer. Right. Then she realizes the only way I'm going to defeat Galatea, because here's the thing, when Galatea is speeding up her, because Galatea starts speeding up her evolution because they were able to thwart Galatea's first attempt to transform all of Earth's machines. So she speeding up her evolution so she doesn't need the satellite. She could just do it from space, almost like a goddess. Which, again,
Sephiroth after that point.
exactly.
Pretty much.
And
Yeah.
so she opens her core like so to force her evolution super quickly. Chris realizes I can't fight her with brute force, so I'm going to go into the core and I'm going to destroy it. And by flying into the core, now Galatea is a mixture of Cilia and Pris. So when she gets Pris's memories and sees why Pris fight, again, like what you were saying, Fizz, it is kind of a cop-out because we don't know much about Pris's backstory. So when she flies through Galatea, Galatea says, "Oh, I see. After seeing all of Pris's life and everything she went through, I understand now, and I'm changing my ways. I can die in peace." And I'm like, well, that's great. But it's
Yeah.
like, what did Pris go through? What was the
Yeah.
Look, I love Pris, but damn it, to end it on Pris winning the day and not Cilia, that was an odd choice.
Yeah.
This is because we didn't know anything about Pris's backstory. I can't buy that last.
She's a
bit.
blank slate. I will even concede that she's a blank slate.
Exactly.
Here's the thing. We can buy her relationship with Leon more than why she fights the Boomers. Because here's why she hates the AD police, and I love it so much.
Bring that up because I don't think I was there for that, or you.
We kind of skipped over that actually.
Yeah. They go on their last. Yeah, they go on their last. They're going on their last mission. Chris tells Leon, "Yeah, I do share your feelings," and they get a little feel, happy with each other because they finally admitted it. Their feelings for one another. And before going on her last mission, she tells Leon why she hated the AD police. She'd been growing up on, living on the streets, getting a bunch of odd jobs. She was sleeping in an old factory when a rogue boomer showed up. The AD police came and blew the whole place to hell. And she herself even got injured. She got shot in the arm. But the one unforgivable act was that her CD player was destroyed. And
It was a CD containing her favorite song.
Yeah, a CD containing her favorite song that she would listen to every night, and she always dreamed of performing that song in front of a concert audience.
I'll handle this one. Yeah, Leon tells her that thinks it's funny, and then Pris bonks him on the back of the head somehow.
Yes. I love that bit. He just laughs and saying, "Wow, that is actually a very silly reason why to hate the AD police." Boom. She punches him right up there.
Exactly.
It's like, boom, shut up, bitch.
It's basically, you shut up. Don't you dare laugh at my pain.
Pretty much.
And
there's some sentimental value to be had.
Did you use that for comedy and teaching moral?
I think so, yeah. That's comedy that that's those little comedies the creators wanted to sneak in.
Because there's no way of taking that seriously.
Yeah. No, I take it seriously because there was a sentimental value to that song. And Leon does say, I'm just curious what that song was that you liked so much. And she starts singing the song, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
but yeah, just to speed things up and wrap things up, like I said, it just ends on everybody naked on Paradise, essentially what their paradise is.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like a biblical allegory, because she leaves the satellite on wings, like angel wings.
Here's the thing. Galatea blew up and is essentially rechristening the planet. And during that whole rechristening scene, that Maki miraculously wakes up. He's no longer in this coma, blank slate. He wakes up and he looks at Cilia with a smile. Cilia walks over and gives him a hug. That was a touching scene.
That was touching, I will admit.
That was a touching scene because it's Cilia's faith being rewarded. After all of the hardship that she endured. But again, with what Wolf was saying, it's like, yeah, First off, Lena and Nene are on a tropical island, which probably they're going to be rescued if they don't get, I don't know, attacked
Eaten
by
alive.
eaten alive, or
Starve to death or succumb to the elements.
yeah. But I'm just saying, how the hell is Chris going to get back? She's in a desert. Okay.
Right.
What?
Maybe they could get that plant monster from Now and Then Here and There to give her a ride.
Well,
or Maya Deep or not Maya Deep. Fuck, get my Dune
Fremen.
Link, not the Fremen. Freaking Shai Halud.
But yeah, other than
But
that,
this is just Japanese saying, nah, it'll be fine.
Pretty much.
we're being like, yeah, we're
I
being
don't see how. You're in the middle of nowhere. No telephones. No way to signal anybody. No clothing. No food. How in the hell are you supposed to survive that?
She's lucky it's nighttime right now. She should get walking to find a settlement somewhere, and hopefully it's not of the Arabic kind. Because Jesus,
yeah.
she go in there naked. That's an affront to their fucking religion.
yeah.
Yeah, how would you even tell them that? Jeez.
Well, and not only that, I think this is kind of cool because she does. So after Pris destroys Galatea and she's floating back to Earth because she's dying, Galatea says, "Hey, do you want to go home?" And she says, "Yeah." And she says, "All right, well, here's my gift to you." And she mutates Pris's armor to like an angelic form, and she flies back down to Earth, which is cool. Okay, but again, practicality-wise, she's in the middle of the desert. Where the hell is she gonna go? But what was I gonna? I did think it was cool that it ended also with Pris singing that song that she always wanted to. That's like just full terms with that little mini arc they introduced. She doesn't need to sing it for a crowd. She can just sing it whenever she's happy.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have liked to have seen an epilogue. I would have liked to have seen where each of the characters went after that, but the story was done.
That's what I would have liked to see too. Like
In my head canon, they just they in my head canon they just they're on Lena and they are on tropical island. They're just they found a village somewhere. It looked like they were on Hawaii or something. They just sailed there for a while.
that would make sense.
They're in bikinis. They're partying with everybody and having a great time because they're living.
And like I said, Pris might have ran to a settlement. Like I don't think the Arabs are their civilization is as what we see in them as of now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they'll be more welcoming a Japanese woman being in their settlement for a while, at least until she can get home.
Mm-hmm.
Though they do have their heart suits with them, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that they can wear them again, probably reactivate them.
Yeah.
I mean,
Or-
wasn't there something about the nanotechnology and it being mentally controlled?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did find this pretty cool though. Is that all of their suits were basically intact by the time they came crashing down, so they could possibly use that for collateral or something.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is,
Fly back. Make roll wings and fly back home.
Yeah, I'm just saying they're just resting for a while. They did just survive a fucking
Fall to Earth.
I know, but I don't get. Well, okay, every anime has to go to this god level tier at the end, but that's pretty much how everything so it's in.
Well, the thing is, when it comes to the Japanese, they always have these that's what makes them so epic in a way.
Mm-hmm.
They challenge the ideals of spirituality, and they challenge the ideals of deities. So it's like humanity always take on what's essentially God and surviving, or at least winning.
And you just described the plot of every single Eastern RPG.
But what I like about that too, and this is probably why a lot of people would gravitate towards Japanese animation, is Japan is not afraid to ask that question of themselves either.
They survive.
Exactly. And that goes all the way back to the foundation of anime, which was the creator of manga who was inspired post Japan after World War II. They had survived the nuclear blast, and now we're rebuilding their home. What do? We survive and we keep going.
Always.
Always. And that is inspirational. We keep going. We survive and we keep going. And that's a positive. And and what I love about that is that there are multi layers to this. You can look at we survived and keep going negatively, which they do in anime. They can keep moving forward positively. You go somewhere down the middle. With Bubblegum Crisis, they were going for the mega happy ending. Okay, they were definitely going for that mega happy ending, which I'm fine with.
Or I can go with the age old traditional reason why they ended off on that. They ran out of budget.
Yeah, probably
Makes sense.
But yeah, that's always what seems to be a core message, is that you get through it and you keep going. And there's
something more people could learn from these days. Whenever I look around me today, I see people who just give up.
Well, and that's why we need our animes like this, because the animes tell us that despite the hard times, we're not always going to succeed. We're probably going to die tragically, but you need to keep going. Because
I must succeed.
Mm-hmm. You keep going by ensuring a legacy or the family line. It doesn't have to be something for the history books. It just has to survive history.
Makes sense.
Do you know how stubbornly apathetic these fuckers are?
Well, our Western media is definitely that very defeatist mentality. But here's the thing, too, is that they don't show, and that they've kind of forgotten about, is that, and in anime they embrace it, is that that's really the human spirit. We've always overcome and just kept going. That was the one thing that you could say about us. We kept going. I mean, how many times have we faced near apocalyptic events, knock on wood, and just kept on going? I mean, yeah, one day this world is going to collapse, whether by economics, by war, by advanced robotics, but the human spirit will continue to move. Always.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how bad the chips get, we just keep going. It's literally all you can do. You get knocked down.
Now that you guys have said so much shit so far, what is your answer for fuck, marry, kill?
All right. I'd kill Nene. I'd screw Pris.
Yeah.
And I'd marry Cilia. No, I'm sorry, Lena. I'd marry Lena.
Oh.
She's the homemaker.
It's just she's just this very spirited person. She's stubborn. She's not afraid to stand up to herself.
And you said you were going first anyways, motherfucker.
I did.
That's right. Take the bull by the horns, Schooner. I encourage every one of you motherfuckers to do that. No matter what.
All right, so who's next?
Ryan.
I guess I'll go next.
You ain't got no choice. Go, Brian.
Yeah, I think I'd kill Nene, fuck Pris, marry Alina, same as Schooner.
Yeah. She's just sweet.
Yeah. We are brothers in this, my friend.
I'm not going to ask you, Fizz. You're not that interested.
Of course. I was never, of course. Like I
Look,
said.
man, I'm sitting here like, should I even ask Fizz? Because I already know what the damn answer going to be.
Exactly.
He'll just say none of them. They're all losers. Basically.
No, he's gonna marry Cilia.
And he'll probably just kill the rest.
He wants to marry Batman. Just admit it, man. You want to marry Batman.
I'm going to say this right now. I choose Lena because Lena is the type of partner who would build everybody up, not tear them down.
That's what I say.
And Cilia does that? No, kidding. Of course she doesn't.
No, Cilia is comfortable where she is, but she is also
nurturing.
Nurturing. That's what I was saying. This is what I liked about Cilia. I forgot. I need to say this before we go off, before the video ends. Cilia is that perfect balance, that perfect duality of the feminine. Graceful, and warrior.
Mhm.
She is the encapsulation of that. Oh, graceful and ferocious. That's it. That balance of gracefulness and ferocity.
Yep.
For me, it'll be kill Lena, fuck Nene, marry Pris.
Interesting.
Fair enough.
Lena's too innocent for us, well, so she must go.
You gotta admit, she does have that innocent look to her.
She's too stubborn.
We must preserve her innocence by murdering her.
It's like she knows too much. We have to kill her.
She's too stubborn to die.
Nene's a flame because she's too damn adorable.
Yeah.
She's not wifey material. She's too adorable.
Mm.
Who I married? Pris, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Chris.
Chris.
Make sure I'm wearing leather to our wedding.
No, that one.
No, that ain't gonna be no organ. It's gonna be Molly Crew playing that shit.
Oh, good choice.
Motley Crue playing "Here Comes the Bride." This is an outdoor reception, and Chris.
Here comes the bride. Here comes the bride.
And Chris is coming down the aisle in her motorcycle.
That would be epic,
It's gonna
dude.
be in fucking stiletto heels, fucking BSM gear and everything with a fucking whip.
And
Let's
here's,
go.
here's another idea. Her veil is a custom made motorcycle.
By the way, I was joking. Kill Nene, fuck Pris, marry Celia.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can wrestle her away from Nigel for a while. That fucking Native American motherfucker.
Well, but again, anyway, that was fun. Getting back to the relationship between Nigel and Silly, I love how she basically tells him, I just want to know how you feel about me. I want you to tell me how you feel. For God's sakes, I mean, I dressed up like Chris just to get your attention. And what does Nigel say? Don't go and fight Galatea. I want you to stay safe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's enough for just, oh my God, you love me. And I'm like, Nigel, you crafty bastard. You said I love you without having to say I love you.
Yeah.
And that being said, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us, and to those non-existing motherfuckers as well. Thank you for stopping by to check this out. I'd like to thank my man Fizz for sharing his opposition while we fucking fellatio this damn show.
I'm the odd man out.
Look, man, you pride yourself in being the odd man out. I don't know why, but I love you for it.
I'm not man out everywhere I go. That's the nature of this show, though.
I thought I was bad.
But hopefully, with He Guy J, he'll find something interesting about that show. It might be your cup of tea, He Guy J, when we pick it back up next month, we're definitely gonna be covering that show in January. That's also dealing with cyborgs and all that stuff as well, and also some weird shit as well, which I'm gonna be watching on my off time. I'd like to thank my man Brian Gil Martin, the Map Hunter Saint.
Yeah, it's been fun talking about Bubblegum Crisis 2040, and everybody, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I think you'll be in for a nice little treat here, especially if you're a fan of the 80s original. And with that said, I'm going to be taking off. This has been Brian Gilmartin. No damage to report. Moving to next area.
Come at you live underneath with good Wi-Fi, Sooner Tuna.
I was just so glad my Wi-Fi was working properly when I was rewatching this show, because I fell back in love with it. So coming at you.
Damn it, Dominic! What the fuck?
So coming at you live from a secret government facility buried deep underground that has excellent Wi-Fi, this is Schooner Tuna. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you have an anime that you love so much and want us to talk about it, let us know in the comments, and we will get back to you. Until then, Bubblegum Crisis.
Before we sign out, Dominic Powell is with us. The Hound of the South. Give us your initial thoughts and your dislikes, Dominic. I'll be back, and we'll sign out after he's done.
Coming at the tail end of the show.
Well, I've been busy with finals.
Oh.
That's painful.
But I will say, I won't say the Bubblegum Crisis.
Bubblegum Crisis is one of those anime series that you can like rewatch multiple times after watching it the first time, and also also a one of the gateways to cyberpunk.
hmm
Mhm.
Oh yeah. If you wanted to know what the formula was for Cyberpunk, watch stuff like Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 2040 or the original Bubblegum Crisis.
Mhm.
And Blade Runner, which ushered in the era of that.
That's
That
also
was go ahead.
it's also worth mentioning that whenever I work, be it movies, TV shows, manga, comic books, whatever, when they deal with
hmm
cyberpunk, not it's not always a dystopia. I, and that's what I think that's like one of several things that people either forget sometimes or they misconstrue what cyberpunk entails.
I thought next gen. But wait. I thought next gen. You seen that anime movie?
hmm
Chinese anime movie. I thought next gen did plot some of this much better though.
hmm
Okay.
These days, in the era of deconstruction, which really bugs me, is that we're getting now a deconstruction of like
Defeatist writing, not deconstruction, because deconstruction actually leaves something for the
defeatist.
viewer
Right,
to watch.
you're right. The defeatist writing, especially in cyberpunk, is really just bleak.
Mhm.
More bleak than what we saw in the '80s cyberpunk genre. I mean, at least, yeah, the world was shit, but hey, we had great music, and hey, we got these awesome cars. And hey, look at these badass robots we got. You can find a way to you can find a way to be happy even in the bleakest of situations. But today it's all this edgelordy of, yeah, it's the future. We got all this bad technology. But what's it all for? And suddenly everybody's a philosopher. And I'm like, really? You think the common man questions his you think the common man questions his place in the universe at 9 a.m. in the morning when he has to go to work and fight traffic? He's not questioning his place in the universe. He's saying, I got to get the hell to work. I don't have time for this crap.
Pretty
That's what.
much. Yeah, and also when it comes to cyberpunk, it's most of the time you see an underdog story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. And even with Bubblegum Crisis, we get that in the character of Lena. She's an underdog.
She's
And
a
we
farm
see
girl
her
who went into the city with dreams of adventure.
with dreams of adventure and actually succeeded in it. And that's another thing that I like. When we were getting to the finale of the series, each of them were talking about their secret dreams that they had. Nene said she always wanted to be an astronaut. But it was funny. She says, and I finally got my goal because I'm in space right now. And Lena says, really? You didn't become an astronaut? Why? Would you believe me if I told you that the space program actually has a height requirement?
I remember that. That was
Oh,
funny.
I'm just like, oh God, life did deal you a hard blow right there. Wow.
So it's not because she's a woman; it's because
No,
she's too short.
it's because she's too short.
Yeah.
And
Duh.
and the thing is about Lena when they say, what her dream was, and Lena says, I already got my dream. I always wanted to be a night saber. I'm living my dream right now. And there is no other place I'd want to be than fighting evil in my suit of armor.
This is starting to sound like a bad comic book plot.
I love that clip, dude.
Same here. I look. As I mentioned before, for like with cyber, like the reason why people like people like tends to go back to like the classic cyberpunk works is because like because they're not just like the story and characters, but also like the themes that cyberpunk conveys. Face. And while you do get instances of works that showcase a future that is dystopia, other times other times it also shows like you shows futures that have become a utopia, but it came at a price, or even like it's reminiscent of our present, where it's at the middle ground. Middle ground, like you shows like the best shows like the best possible version of the future, while also showcasing like the dangers and evils that still plague like in the future.
And I oh
Yep.
And just what you were saying earlier, Wolf, about especially when we were talking about Cilia and the duality of
Mhm.
that. When Pris says make another hard suit, and she says, "Why are you expecting someone else?" and Pris says, "Not really," and walks away. You just see this. It was that scene where she just had that look of sheer. You can see so much in just a scene, in just a still shot. You see intrigue, fear, and apprehension. And I always thought that scene was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the girl comes out of the dressing room and says, I feel a little awkward in this dress. Cilia immediately turns back to that graceful person and says, "Oh, no, you look beautiful."
Mm-hmm.
That was the Hound of the South speaking his brief thoughts. And once again, thank you everybody for joining us today. And this is your Wolf Commander reminding you guys, as always, you are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.
Dance floor.